So I'm tying the competition cat's whisker. Actually, this fly, I have had it in my box for some time now. And when I used to fish competitions years ago, I fished on an eliminator, England eliminator, Stocks Reservoir. And I drew the late Ian Greenwood. And basically, we both started off the same lines, dye free. And we both had cat's whiskers on the point of our cast. I was using a red head one. I'd caught so many on practice, and we started off fishing. He picks up 3 or 4 fish. I haven't had a take, and I don't really know what's going on. And he's just like, "Oh, is that a white-head cat's whisker?" And I'm like, "No, it's a red." And he's like, "Oh, right, try a white one." And I went in my box. I got one out and tied it on, and I started catching, and we're both into double figures. And I landed a 12.5-pound rainbow as well. So just the very subtle change of the thread head colour from red to white, it proved massive on this day. Let's get started. The hook that I'm using is a size 10 Elite Flies competition barbless. The thread is basically Uni-thread 8/0 white. This is just some from Steve Parton years ago. So run the thread on down to the hook point, and now trim away the excess. Get a plume of white marabou and just pull some feathers off as shown. This is for the tail. Catch that in as shown. Now this is a competition cat, just trim away the excess there. So it's for international rules. So the tail on it has to be quite short. So I'm going to take my gauge. I'm also going to take into account that when it's wet, it's going to be longer anyway. So keep the tail quite short. Just turn and pinch it away with your fingers, like that. Okay, so run the thread over that marabou on the body, just to keep it nice and even. And then wind it back to just past the hook point this time. And now I'm going to take my chenille. This is fluorescent yellow, fluorescent chartreuse, I'm not sure. Just pull away some of the chenille to expose the core. Catch in the core, like shown. And then run the thread down to the eye of the hook. And now, in very tight touching turns, you're going to wind your chenille in the opposite way to the thread, up to the hook eye. Keeping it as tight as you can. And really close turns. And then when you get to the point where you're 3 millimeters away, something like that, it's far enough. So you want to secure that. Couple of tight turns of thread. And then we're going to trim away the excess. Get as close as you can with your sharp scissors. And then we're going to just wind a few turns. It just keeps it nice and tight and secure. And then get your marabou again, your white marabou. Strip some away. And now we're going to tie in the wing. What I like to do is to wet it a little bit in some water, just the end. And it helps the fibres to stick together a bit better. So just catch that in, like shown. Some tight thread turns. And again, just get that and turn and pinch it away. So you want it to be the same length as the tail. So I'm applying a bit more water again to the marabou. And now it just makes it so much easier to trim away, so I can get nice and close to the thread. And now just simply tidy up the head a bit, build up a nice white head as shown. And once you're happy with it, you can use a double half hitch like I'm going to do, or you can use a whip finish, it doesn't matter. So there we go, trim off the thread, and then you're going to get your varnish and you're going to give it a decent amount of varnish. I'm using Sally Hansen's here, tend to use it for everything, to be honest, from buzzers to heads of flies. So get plenty on the top, on the sides, underneath, and then you can just simply get your finger just to dab it, take off any excess varnish, make sure everything's nice and neat, and then find something to go through the hook eye just to make sure there's no varnish in there, because it's really annoying when you come to tie the fly on, isn't it, and you can't get the line through the eye. So that's it, the finished fly. Very effective fly. Everyone should have this in their box. Thanks very much for watching.